Hey guys, so I know I look probably as, if not more, disgusting than my last video, but that is mainly because I feel really disgusting. There's just been this sickness that has just passed through every member of my household. It's just that time of the year. Everybody's done had a cold, congestion, all that fun, delicious stuff that's gross. So I apologize for that. But I thought, why not make a fun video about some of my artwork and show you some of my older drawings to most recent ones, and maybe along the way give a few tips and tricks that has worked for me. One thing that I've learned when it comes to drawing and like your own artwork is, one, don't expect to do everything that other artists do. You kind of have to just find little things that work for you and what works best for you. You can't just assume because this person draws really well and they use this very specific pen that if I use that pen and do exactly how they're doing, I'll be able to draw just as good. No, you have to find what works for you, because we're all individuals and individual things are going to work for individual people, right? So I have my little art bin. I'm not sure where you can get these at. I got this forever ago. I can't even remember who gave it to me. But it has a crap ton of old drawings that I did some probably back even from middle school to early high school. And then my most recent ones are in this very extra large sketchbook. So I'm just going to kind of dig in and show you. I don't know if I'll show you all of them because there's a lot and I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm going to try to show you some older ones and then middle ground pictures and then sort of most recent ones. So let's just get started. I'm missing a really good eraser. But I do always keep a pencil and something to do ink work with when it comes to my drawings. My older ones don't really have ink work. I have gone through and done some ink work on some of them. Some of them I haven't. And I'll show you what I mean by ink work whenever I come across them. I'll point that out. But again, like I said in the beginning, with using the same utensils as other artists doesn't mean it'll work for you. But I'll just show you this one that I use because it is very inexpensive and it works well for what I do, and you just have to try it out and see if it would work for you as well. But I just use one of these Sharpie pens, and I got mine from a store here in America called Dollar General. I'm guessing Dollar General is everywhere. And I think it was like $2 for one of these, and I've done a lot of ink work. I've even colored in some very dark spots. And so far it has not run out of ink on me. It's still going. And for $2, it's really good quality. Of course, it's a Sharpie brand, and it's got a really nice fine point right here to get really in there and get some fine lines. So I thought I'd just throw that in there. Other than that, pencils that I use are simple, regular, either mechanical pencils or just regular number 2 pencils, just whatever I feel like at the time. Nothing very specific with that. So I have a huge stack. I have a couple of sketchbooks and the newer sketchbook. Then I have this huge stack of loose paper that has been torn out throughout the years. And I'm going to kind of try to go through these as quickly as I can so that the video isn't too long. Some of them have dates on them, some of them don't. I didn't really start dating some of my artwork until most recent years. But I know this one is one that is Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, and I can remember doing this possibly in middle school, early high school, and all I did was I used to like record anime on a VHS tape, and I paused the opening to Full Metal Alchemist, the original one, and started drawing this scene. So this is one of my earlier ones. Now mind you, I'm not really the greatest, but I just want to show you old ones to newer ones so you can see how I've developed, because it's kind of interesting. This one is Daisuke. I don't even remember what anime this is from. Something Angel. And this I know is a really old one. Super old drawing. A lot of my artwork is considered like sketch work, where it's just really loose lines. Just because that's easier for me. And then like in most recent times I've gone through and done some ink work to kind of clean up my lines some. This I drew, what it is like this Chinese metal candle holder thing that used to sit on my mom's coffee table. Of course it didn't look exactly like this, but I would say this was probably early high school years. I was just bored one day and started drawing what I saw. This was some character I was trying to make up at the time. I don't even know. It was just me doing a lot of practice work. But but I keep everything. And I could tell you some good advice. If you're going to start drawing, keep everything, honestly, because find a way to store them where they won't be messed up, and you'll just enjoy it. The further you develop and the more years of practice you've put into drawing, you're going to want to look at your old drawings and see how you've really changed and developed. This one I would say is probably late middle school, early high school. It's Sango and Kilala from Inuyasha. And again, that was just a pause scene. I know her head's really like broke there. Another practice sketch of a character I was trying to develop because I like to write fan fiction. And these were way before I even knew what fan fiction was. I would just like drawing and writing, so I was like, you know, all kinds of practice sketchworks. I was practicing drawing a hand, somebody's emo hair. A lot of these are practice works. This is a practice sketch of Sasuke. I was trying really hard because I'm not very good at hands or feet. Hands and feet are very difficult, for me anyway. This is another one of young Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist. That was probably early high school years. But I know I try to practice a lot on hands and feet to better myself. That's an old sketch. I don't even know what I was doing there. Again, another practice sketch of this character I was trying to develop for a Naruto fan fiction. Here's a picture of Kilala that I thought was really cute. It's probably a pause scene from the episode. And more practice sketchwork for that character I was trying to develop. It looks like I was trying to make some weird frog-like creature she was staring at. I have no idea. And I'm sorry if I'm real nasally and sniffly. I can't help it. More sketch work. I was trying to make this girl that was half demon, half human, sort of like the Jinchuriki in Naruto. Another drawing of Sasuke Uchiha. A lot of these are going to be from Naruto because Naruto came out in America probably when I was in 6th or 7th grade. There's Kakashi. So I was really big into Naruto when I started drawing, like actually trying to draw, not just like kids sketches and colored stuff. This is Chi. I can't remember what the show is called. I want to say Chobits, but I really don't remember. And this does have a date. It says 2011. And you'll notice that I usually don't color my drawings, mainly because I'm not very good with shading and blending. But these ones I obviously just felt like taking. I think I took just regular colored pencils like Crayola and just tried to color a little bit. All of these Chi ones are from 2011. This one has a date that says 2011. I don't think this character is from any specific show or anything. I think it's just something I just drew. A lot of my drawing inspiration is either when I'm bored or I look at other people's artwork and I want to start trying to develop more, so then I start drawing, and watching anime does help. This one also is dated in 2011 and it's supposed to be Naruto. Don't know what he's wearing, but I was probably just really bored, which usually stems my weirdness. This is a drawing of my dog, Mater. We know he has German Shepherd in him, but we're not sure what else. But I thought it was kind of cool. It was my first time really drawing anything, well, not really my first time, but probably my second to third time drawing anything that is a real creature instead of something off of like a cartoon or something. And the way I drew it almost reminds me as if I took a picture of him through a fisheye lens, because the way the couch is sort of warped. I don't know. I thought it was really fun drawing him while he slept. This is just some random character. I don't think she's from any very specific show. That's dated in 2011, and so is the dog picture. This is old. All these ones are old ones. These ones with me trying to make up this character. This one is not dated. I know it's really old. This is one of Sasuke, and I did do some ink work over this. It was I tried to keep it very sketched out looking though at the same time, because this was meant to be a sketch and not anything too detailed. But I did throw some ink work in there because it's such an old picture that a lot of the pencil lines were faded out. So I did some ink work so that basically you could see them and it would be easier for other people to see them that wanted to look at it as well. Otherwise it was just too faded out. This is the mystical elf from Yu-Gi-Oh! This is probably middle to late middle school that I drew this, I want to say, because I quit really watching Yu-Gi-Oh! In elementary. Then I was, be bored a lot at home or in school before I realized what sketchbooks were, and drew a lot of excuse me, random pictures on notebook paper, just whatever I could get my hands on. That's the thing. Practice, practice, practice with whatever you have. It's just like anything that you want to get good at. The more you practice, more of that character I was trying to develop. But the more you practice, the better you are going to get good at it, believe it or not. It does take a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error. I have to cough. Excuse me, but these next few ones was just repeat after repeat, practice, I can't speak, sketches of that character I was developing. One of Sasuke that I remember actually drawing in lunch in my early high school years, as well as this one of Sasuke and Sakura. Most of these older notebook papers right here were me drawing in my pastime in high school, early high school, maybe some from late middle school, where like whether we was in lunch or maybe I had free time in class and I was sketching. Most of my drawings, like I said, are sketching. Because my hand shakes so much. My hand tends to really shake when I try to get close into details. So that's why a lot of my drawings are more like sketch prone. Also, I know this is kind of considered cheating, but don't claim it as what you have done if you haven't. This is tracing paper. And I used to have a tracing paper book. I used to take trace paper and actually just trace things because it honestly does help you figure out how you want to move your hands to make certain lines, to either make lighter lines, darker lines, things like that. It's just a way to practice. But like I said, don't take tracing paper. It's obvious that it's tracing paper, but just don't trace somebody else's work and try to say that that's what you did. Because it's just not, it's cheating yourself as well. This is an older one of Gaara, probably early high school years. And I remember this one. This one was in late middle school years of Gaara. That one took me a long time because that is like the first time of me drawing that I put so many tiny details into a drawing. This one I'd probably say is a high school drawing. This is Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. And this does have ink work done onto it, I believe. No, this is pen work. When I say ink work instead of pen work, I mean that Sharpie marker because it's a pitch black marker. Where pen is like you can only get so dark, it always stays sort of a gray. So before I realized that I could get actual marker to trace over and darken lines up, I would just use a regular ink pen, which is what was done to this. This is another character development, and I remember doing this in lunch with everybody watching me. This is half demon, half human side of a girl. Just practice work. I remember doing this one in high school. I would get bored and come up with ideas and just start drawing. This one doesn't have a date, but I know it was done in 2011. This is some random picture I found off Google. Yes, this has ink work done on it, where I traced over it with the Sharpie marker and then erased all the pencil markings to kind of clean up the lines a little bit. This one is just done with a pen. This is just a random drawing. This isn't from any specific show or anything. That's dated in 2011, and it says being in love can also mean being happy, just being bored and drawing again. This one isn't dated, but I know this is one from 2011, maybe 2012, and it says music equals life. This one I just recently did ink work to and erased all the pencil lines to just really clean up the drawing. This one is dated in 2011. This is just a picture of an anime cat that I found probably on Google. And I colored the collar bow with just regular colored pencil. I don't have any like real artist coloring pencils because I'm not very good with blending. This one I remember doing in high school, but I did recently ink it, and it's just something from Ed Hardy. There's a few of those I used to make. A few of my drawings have gone missing because I used to have them hanging up, and then we took them down to paint the walls, and I can't remember where I put them. But that just is Ed Hardy that says love kills slowly, and then my name and sort of like Ed Hardy print up there. This one's not dated, but I would say this one's probably done in 2013. And it is Soul and Maka from Soul Eater, and I did do ink work on this as well and erased all the pencil markings to sort of clean up the drawing and make it look a little bit more crisp. This one's done in regular pen ink, and it's Zelda from Twilight Princess. I know her hand looks like a creepy alien hand. but it was the first time I've really done a huge picture where it takes up most of the page. And as well as this one is dated 2012, so that's probably when that Zelda one has actually got 2011 dated on it there in the corner. This one is Link and Navi from Ocarina of Time, that's dated 2012. There it is. And I traced over this with a regular Crayola marker, which was a bad idea, so it looks more like a kid's drawing, but anyway. This one has just regular pen ink, and it's dated 2012, and it is adult Link from Ocarina of Time. His arm looks like it's way shorter than what it should be, but again, just keep going. Don't be too much of a critic on yourself. This one is dated 2012, and it's Link and Midna from Twilight Princess. And I recently did ink work on this as well, and erased some of the pencil markings to kind of clean it up. And then this one is Cherry Blossom version of Miku Hatsune, and I recently did ink work on that. And you see how dark that black is? That's why I really like this pen, the Sharpie pen, because you can make your lines really dark, and if you want to color in certain spots, you can make those pitch black as well. This one's not dated, but I would say 2012, 2013. This is Monica from Puella Madoka Magica, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I recently did ink work with this and sort of cleaned it up a lot more and made it a little bit more crisp. I really like this picture. This one is kind of Mami Tomoe from Puella Madoka Magica, and it's just some random picture, and it says dress yourself up for school. That one was just with regular ink pen, as well as this one of Mami. And this one is an older one. I don't know what date. This is one of Sakura. Regular pen ink work there. And same as this one, which is Tamari from Naruto. Regular ink pen. This is a sketch of my cat Precious, and this was the first time I ever really tried to shade a picture. And all I did was kind of colored a little bit of pencil lead on there and then kind of shaded it out with my finger. I'm not really good at shading. I've been recently practicing. Patrick, dated 2011. To kind of teach myself. A little sister, dated 2011. But I've been practicing shading to sort of teach myself. This one I'm just going to kind of show you quickly. It's just a random drawing. How to really shade and color, because a lot of my stuff is just sort of like, almost like coloring book drawings, where there isn't a whole lot of detail, there isn't really any shading and dimension, and I want to learn how to do that. So the best way for me to learn how, because I don't have money to go to college and really learn from a professor, is to honestly teach myself. So I'll watch other videos and I'll see how some people do it, how some others do it, and I'll kind of just keep practicing it until I figure out, again, what works for me. These are random Sakura flowers dated in 2012. So I'll show you that in the newer drawings. How I've been trying to practice shading. And you see, I would just kind of, whenever I got bored and felt like drawing, no matter what it was, I would dive right into it to just keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing. And like I said, just the more you practice, the better it's going to be for yourself. And just the more you find out what works for you and what doesn't. And as you can see, it's kind of like I get stuck on one certain character and repeatedly draw them for a while before moving on to another one. This one I did just recently do ink work on it. It's Charlotte from Puella Madoka Magica. And then here is Mami again. I actually have a YouTube video of me drawing this picture, and I will try to link it below. No promises, but I will try to link it below. It's very old. It's recorded on an old phone, and it has YouTube music on it, which most stuff does that I have, because whatever. I did do some ink work, but I didn't erase any pencil lines with this. So it is still a bit of a messy picture. But yeah, I'll try to link that one below. This is Midna. This is one of the first drawings I did where it took up a whole page. And I had fun really drawing this. I do really like the way this one turned out. And this one is just a random one I did do some ink work with, but I still try to keep it looking sketchy. And this is one of the other first ones where I try to do some shade work. You can see where I've shaded the body here. And I did do some ink work to this as well, not a whole lot. And I've kind of shaded this background sort of here to make it look almost misty, and just dark and gloomy and just ready to go into battle. There are some older drawings that were probably late middle school, early high school years, and I just have them in this little Japanese sort of like divider folder that was given to me by my grandparents as a souvenir they bought. One of Naruto. I would say this is late middle school, early high school. Some of my drawings, even though they were in the same time period, some look better and some look awful. I don't know why that is. Isn't that kind of weird how that does that? This is Naruto, I guess. Just random sketching. I remember these ones were late middle school. These ones are really old. Emo Gara. This is again that Daisuke character, and that I can't really remember what anime he's from. This is practicing drawing hands, and another Naruto one. I'm going to sort of quickly flip through these sketchbooks. I don't know if these are dated. I don't think so. This might be 2011, 2010. This has the recent ink work on it. This one I think I did a YouTube video on. I can't really remember. Maybe it wasn't this one. Different things. There was like little Tinkerbell fairies, a pregnant Sakura, notes for whatever reason. Hey, who still plays The Sims Busting Out? Pause this and there's some cheats for you with some spilt chili. Again, lots of just doodling as well, like even with letters. This is all just to help practice. You know, like I'm telling you, just the more you doodle and sketch and just practice and draw whatever you feel like drawing at the time, it just really helps better yourself with what you're doing. It really helps you just get a feel for what, again, just what works for you and what doesn't. Because I'm telling you, what I can do may work for me very well and may be very successful for me, but it might be a totally different story for you. This other one, I'm not even sure how old this sketch diary is, but it's full of severely old pictures. I would say this is probably my late middle school years of drawing here. Because these ones I actually, yeah, these are middle school. This is when I first started watching Naruto and getting real big into Naruto, and I was just starting to draw. Excuse me. So yeah, most of these are lots of practicing, as you can tell. I've really messed up a lot and, you know, wasn't very what I consider good. But a lot of it is just, again, practicing. Practicing makes perfect. All of this is late middle school drawings, and it's all colored with crayon to even prove it. This was when I was trying to develop a story, and I was developing characters and writing notes about the characters and writing like background stories to help get things out there. One of Gar's eye, Naruto. So that's why, like, on the back of most of these, there's like a lot of little notes. What does this one even say? Practicing. More practicing. That was me trying to develop that character once again. And repeated drawings of the same scene to kind of get a feel. I know this video is already pretty long, but before I show you my most recent sketches, I was going to say that when I do actually save enough money to get this camcorder that I really want, that will have a lot better quality than this tablet that I'm using to film, and it would actually fit on a tripod, unlike this tablet. This tablet is just sort of rigged up, which is why I might look crooked. But as soon as I can get that new camera, if you guys are interested, I will try to do, even though I'm not like the best artist in the world, what I do might help you in some ways. You might, you know, the thing about drawing is you got to really kind of gather little techniques from everybody and try different things, and one will help you and one won't. So it is a really good idea to just kind of watch what everybody else does and just try things yourself. But when I get this new camera that will fit on a tripod, I will try to do drawing videos and try to do explanation videos and almost do like a Mark Crilly thing. I'm not trying to steal his idea, but sort of do a Mark Crilly thing where one video will be in real-time explaining, I can't think, I can't talk, real-time explanation stuff, and then another separate video for you know, fast forwarded, just if you just want to watch the actual drawing being done instead of explaining what is happening. So there are some pictures I took on the tablet of step-by-steps to a couple of these drawings, and I will show them here in a minute, but let's just go ahead and go through the sketchbook and just see here. These are all within the past year. Here is just the very first page is all practice drawings. I practiced drawing an eye. I tried to draw a picture of Naruto and the character I developed as children, kind of as best friend picture, and it didn't work out, so I just doodled all around it, because I'm telling you, just the more you sit down and doodle, the more it helps yourself. This one is Naruto and Kara. Kara Uchiha is the character I developed for my fan fiction. It's a Naruto fan fiction called Could We Be More. It's featured on Wattpad and fanfiction.net. I'll try to link those below. No promises again. I'm just so sick I don't even know if I'll be able to just... After I get done editing this, I probably will be done. But I did show it in my What's on My Phone video, which wasn't too long ago. I did link those stories below, that one and my Walking Dead story. So this was a picture I drew from one of the chapters in that story of the character I developed and Naruto. And this is the same thing. This is Kara Uchiha and Naruto. All of these have had recent ink work done to them. They were just sort of like sketchy, lots of pencil work and loose lines everywhere. And I have since then done some ink work and sort of cleaned them up a little bit. And then again, this one I did do a YouTube video on how to draw anime eyes, I think is what it was called. This is just me practicing. I was just bored that day, and again, just practicing. The more you practice, I know I've repeated that throughout this video, but just the more you practice, the more it helps. This is a failed attempt to draw Kiba in my character. So, again, I didn't really erase it and just kind of said forget it. I just sort of kept it just to show myself what I tried to do. Like, I even tried to start one here and just kind of gave up on it. Just don't be too discouraged. This one is one of my most recent and one that I really love, and one of the first ones, again, that I have tried shading. This is Rinakumura from Blue Exorcist. I don't know how well you can tell because I've kind of lost some sunlight here, but there is some shading around his clothing and things like that. It was just like the first time I ever really tried to shade things with really thinking about where I'm going with stuff. And I did go over this with ink work, and that's where all the darkness comes from. This one is one of my favorite ones. Again, Rinakumura from Blue Exorcist. And this one doesn't really have a whole lot of shading in it, but it is one of those pictures where, because this foot and this hand is closer to the camera, or to where we're looking, it looks bigger than this foot and this hand. And so I was trying to I really wanted to draw this picture because of that, to try and help practice perception of the eye and how we see things, how some things are closer and some things are farther away. I did do ink work. All that darkness in his hair and on the gloves and things is from that Sharpie pen. And I will show pictures here of when I actually started drawing this sketch, or this picture. I can't even think again, sorry, my head is just so muggy. I used to never, ever, ever really start my pictures out with boxes and lines and trying to, you know, I just didn't do that for some reason. And then I taught myself, okay, this is something I have to do. And hopefully you'll be able to tell if I still have it on there. But I kind of drew, you know, a circle of where I figured his head would be at first, then some lines for his arms, and some like square boxes for his hands and feet. And all that really does is help you with proportions and where you want their bodies to be at. Like, you want a spot for where you want your shoulders lined up, and where you want your elbows at, and your knees, and, you know, joint marks. Just like there's joint marks on people, you want to find out where those are going to be in your photo, because you want to get your proportions as correct as possible. Otherwise it's just going to come out looking very unnatural, which, you know, like this front shoe right here isn't really as good as this one. It looks more, I don't know, unnatural to me, but I'm not really good at feet and hands, so this was a challenge for me also because it's a picture that showed both feet and hands. And this is the latest drawing I have done, and it's sort of a dark take on Ariel from The Little Mermaid, sort of. Just some random Google picture I found of Ariel, and just decided to try and draw it. And again, this is where I tried to do some shading. I really love the shading in the skull that I did there. That actually I do enjoy, and I do think I did a decent job on that. The rest is kind of eh. I tried, but this one I actually took pictures of almost a step-by-step process, which I'll go ahead and show here. Again, I start out with a circle for where I want her head to be and the skull to be, and I start these lines out as kind of, I used the number 2 pencil because to me the lead is a lot softer in those pencils than in mechanical pencils, so it's easier to get a lighter line. And when I start these sort of circles and squares and lines to figure out where her head's going to be, where maybe her shoulder's going to be, how I want the skull to lay, things like that, I want those to be very light lines because those are kind of like guidelines. They're going to be erased eventually. And you just can see with each picture I'm showing you here how the photo began to, or how the drawing began to develop slowly but surely. You kind of just start in one spot of the drawing and erase a little here, draw a little more. It took a lot of trial and error, and it took a lot of erasing and redoing where I wasn't happy, but you just keep working with it and keep working with it until you're satisfied with it. Don't do it to satisfy everyone else. Do it to satisfy yourself. You know, where am I, you know, I keep working with this picture and keep working and keep working and keep working until I feel like I am satisfied enough to say, okay, this is done for now. I'm good with this now. And just because when you do that, you just push yourself. And the more you push yourself, the better things are going to be for you. You're just going to learn more, and you're going to realize, you know, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what is going on here, and just, I'm rambling at this. So again, I know this video is kind of long, and I have been not really posting videos very often. I've been really sick. I've been really tired. Right now my back is killing me because just from so much coughing, it's just like I can feel it back here in my lungs. I also got a new bed, which I don't know how well you can really see it here, but it's huge. It takes up most of my room. Like, you know, I live in a trailer park, and as odd as it is, I kind of want to almost do a video on this bed because it's really cool. It has like hidden drawers and like a trap door. And there's a video I might edit and post it after this one of the kids kind of getting in the trapdoor and playing like hide and go seek, sort of. Anyway, enough rambling. Here's my drawings video, and do let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing how to draw videos when I get a camera that would work for that type of video. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for putting up with my lack of content and my lack of this sort of energy to even do anything, and my nasally voice throughout this entire long video. And don't forget to subscribe for more content, leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!